All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Trayvon Griffin. I am a graduating senior nutritional sciences major at Howard University, and my presentation is called Shopping for Nutrition. So some aims that we're going to go over today is what essential vitamins and minerals are crucial to a healthy diet. How do we understand how to read a nutrition label? What are some tips consumers can use for budget-friendly shopping? Exploring unit pricing and saving tips associated, and examining a sample budget-friendly grocery trip. So I wanted to start off with high inflation just because we're seeing it right now. So according to a USDA ERS Outlook report, 10.2% or 13.5 million households suffer food insecurity in 2021, and that's without inflation. So in 2023, all food prices are predicted to increase 7.1%, while food at home prices are predicted to increase 8%. So where are we seeing this inflation? So food prices have little by little increased on consumers. So for example, eggs, meat, crackers, some fresh and frozen fruits, and bread. So for eggs, we see a $1.68 increase since last year. With meat and crackers, we see a 16% increase. And with fresh and frozen fruits, we see a 19.5% increase, as well as a 38% increase with bread. So what can we do about it? So Produce RX is a program that enables doctors to recommend fresh produce to patients with chronic illnesses connected to food, while also offering further assistance to patients who are economically disadvantaged. Fresh Farm Market offers a dollar-for-dollar match on all federal benefits used at the market, enabling customers to take home more locally produced fresh produce and delicacies while also establishing and maintaining new revenue streams for nearby farmers and food producers. So there are several fresh farm markets in Ward 7 and 8 DC. So the Produce Plus program provides fresh, healthy produce grown locally to DC residents who have limited access to it. The Produce Plus season runs from about early June to the end of September. Small farming slash gardening in DC. So in every ward in DC, there is a community garden that serves to help in the fight against fresh food and produce deserts in our area. So when we go to Giant, we feed everyone, but we also want to shop for nutrition and help our bodies, and just shop for nutrition, not energy. So vitamins and minerals are nutrients that our body requires to perform a variety of normal functions. These nutrients may be obtained from the variety of foods that we eat. So here is just a list of essential vitamins and minerals in the food groups. So with fruits, we have vitamin C, folate, vitamin A in the form of beta carotene, which beta carotene we find in a lot of deep colored vegetables and fruits. So like spinach, carrots, oranges, just reds, oranges, greens. So with vegetables, we have vitamin C, vitamin K, folate, vitamin A, also in the form of beta carotene, potassium and magnesium for the minerals. And for protein, we have vitamin A, D, and E, as well as B vitamins. And for the minerals, we have iron, zinc, and magnesium. For grains, we have B vitamins, as well as iron, magnesium, and selenium. And for dairy, we have vitamins A and D. Vitamin D is fortified, as well as vitamin B12, and then we have calcium and potassium and phosphorus. So here we have vitamin A. It functions as an antioxidant, so that means it fights cancerous cells. It has improved vision, affects bone development and immunity. Some sources include pumpkin, sweet potato, carrots, spinach, broccoli, winter squash, cantaloupe, watermelon, fortified milk, and milk products. And some deficiency signs that we see is night blindness. Vitamin B12. So vitamin B12, some functions include tissue health, brain function, and red blood cell production. And some sources include meats, poultry, fish, shellfish, eggs, milk, and milk products. And some deficiency signs that we see are a glossy tongue and psychosis. So vitamin C, we have some functions include collagen synthesis. It increases absorption of iron and serotonin production. Some sources include collard greens, broccoli, strawberries, oranges, kiwi, watermelon, and cranberry sauce. Deficiency signs are scurvy, so some symptoms of that are joint pain, bleeding gums, and bone deformities. So vitamin D is also called the sunshine vitamin. It can be synthesized in the body with the sun, and it's the only vitamin to do so. So some functions include maintaining bone and teeth health, and it regulates inflammation. And some sources include UV light, animal foods like eggs, liver, fatty fish, fortified milk and dairy products, and fortified margarine. There aren't really many deficiency signs, but very few people may have muscle weakness and fatigue. And they also say about 60% of people are vitamin D deficient. Vitamin E, so some functions include antioxidants, which is, fights cancer cells. It may decrease the risk of dementia, and it may decrease the risk of heart disease. Some sources include plant oils, oil-derived products, wheat germ, sweet potato, margarine, almonds, cashews, spinach, shrimp, and bread. And some deficiency signs that we see is that it's slow to develop blindness. So vitamin K, I want to start off by saying that every newborn in the US is given a single shot of it just due to the body not being able to store it. And some functions include blood clotting, it improves bone density, and it prevents blood vessel calcification. And some sources include plant foods, spinach, broccoli, lettuce, kale, cereal, meats, nuts, legumes, dairy, and fruit. Deficiency signs are uncommon, as well as if you're on the drug warfarin or Coumadin, you should restrict the vitamin K consumption just because it prevents blood clotting. So folate, these next few slides will be microminerals. So some functions include cell growth and division and red blood cell formation. And sources include animal and plant sources, vegetables, legumes, nuts, fruits, organ meats, and whole grains. Some deficiency signs that we see is anemia, low white blood cells, psychosis, and mental deterioration. And it can also mask vitamin B12 deficiency. So here we have iron. Some functions include oxygen delivery, energy homeostasis, hemoglobin formation, and boost immunity. So some sources include fish, chicken liver, pork, prunes, apricots, raisins, plums, spinach, and oatmeal. And some deficiency signs that we see is fatigue, heart palpitations, dry skin, brittle nails, and iron deficiency is very common. So a lot of people do have it. So magnesium, also called nature's Valium or, chill pill. Magnesium is found in bone tissue. So some functions include it in being involved in metabolism, cholesterol synthesis, and DNA and RNA. So some sources include whole grains, cereals, nuts, legumes, spices, seafood, coffee, tea, and cocoa. And some deficiency signs that we see is excessive vomiting, diarrhea, and impaired neural functioning. So calcium, here we have calcium. 99% of calcium is in the bones and teeth. So some functions include nerve impulse transmission, blood coagulation or blood clotting, structural integrity of bones and teeth, and regulation of muscle contraction. Some sources include dairy products, sardines, oysters, clams, tofu, molasses, almonds, calcium fortified foods, and dark leafy green vegetables. Some deficiency signs that we see is decreased blood pressure, weight gain, decreased vitamin D, and muscle cramps. So zinc stabilizes DNA, and some functions include it contributing to over 200 enzymes, pH regulation, alcohol metabolism, and immunity. Sorry. Some sources include herring, oysters, clams, poultry, meat, eggs, and legumes. And some deficiency signs that we see is poor wound healing, loss of taste, and dwarfism. So here we have selenium. So some functions include it protecting against tumor development, immunity, and it stabilizes cells. And some sources include snapper, salmon, scallops, clams, oysters, sunflower seeds, ground beef, chicken, eggs, milk, and Brazil nuts, which is in the diagram. And some deficiency signs that we see is hairlessness, infertility, premature infants, and GI issues. So here we have phosphorus. 85% of phosphorus is in the bone, and some functions include nucleic acid formation, strength to bones and teeth, and muscle cell contraction. Some sources include meat, poultry, fish, eggs, milk, cereal, legumes, grains, and chocolate. Deficiency signs are uncommon.
Come along on this food tour with me as part of our Community Nutrition Wellness Series.
So now we're getting into food labels. So there's 4 sections to a food label or a nutrition label, and it's serving information, calories, nutrients, and percent daily value. So I want to start off with revisions of the nutrition facts that's been updated in 2021. So we have, serving size is larger, bolder type, calories, larger type. The daily values are updated, actual amount declared. It's a new footnote that includes the percent daily value, some changes and some nutrients required, and it also included added sugars. And here's just a blank copy of that. So now we're on to serving info. That's the number 1 on the label. The serving size reflects the amount that people typically eat or drink. It's not a recommendation of how much you should eat or drink. You should also pay attention to serving size in relation to how much nutrition you're getting out of it.
So here we have 2 different kinds of chicken soup. I included chicken and herb dumplings and chicken and orzo and lemon. So with this, we're talking about the serving size. So it's, let's see, there's about 2 servings per container in each of these. So if you're eating 1, you're eating 2. So with that, that includes 1,200 milligrams of sodium, which is about half of the daily required amount of sodium that one needs.
And here we on to calories. A calorie is a unit of measuring energy. Our bodies need calories/energy to operate. Generally, we should balance the calories we eat or drink with the amount of energy we use through basic functions and physical activities. Next up is nutrients. So it displays health-related nutrients. So look for foods with more of the nutrients you desire and fewer of the nutrients that you don't. Generally, the lower the sodium, saturated fats, and added sugar, the better, as they're linked with several health conditions, including cardiac events and diabetes.
Okay, so here we have 2 different kinds of chicken broth, one low sodium and one just regular. Typically we should go for low sodium just because of the increased risk of cardiovascular disease and stroke and diabetes and high blood pressure. So here we have in the second label, so here we have sodium for 480 milligrams and low sodium for 50 milligrams. Unsalted and regular. Here we have clam chowder, and we're talking about the saturated fat content in it. So there is 2 grams in it, so it's not a lot, but you should check each item's saturated fat just because it has increased risk of high blood pressure, clogged blood arteries, and yeah.
So percent daily value, the percent daily value are daily nutritional intake limits in grams, milligrams, or micrograms. The percent daily value helps you evaluate if a serving of food is high or low in a nutrient. And now we're on to the unit pricing. So unit pricing is a way to find out the basic cost of a single product. And in the illustration, we have something for 714, and the unit price of that is 71 cents and 71.4 cents. So that means that each pound of that product is 71.4 cents for the grand total of 714. So here's just some tips on how to save money with unit per price. So definitely check out more than just the sale price. Just because something is on sale doesn't mean that's always the best deal. So, always look at the price unit just to make sure that you're getting the best deal out of it.
So here we have this little orange label, and it's the base cost of the single product. So here we have general price. Obviously, it's a very small bag compared to this one, this one, this one, this one. So here we have 252. So that's 37 cents more for double the size. And here on the last level, biggest bag that is 20 pounds. It is $2.20 per pound. So obviously we're saving way more. I mean, yeah, we're saving way more in the long run. So even though that both of these, the small one and this large one, is wildly different in cost, it's definitely a better deal in the long run.
And don't let the package fool you. Sometimes goods are packaged in a way that makes it seem like they're a good deal, but they're not always, at least. So always look at the price per unit to figure out how much something really costs. And I just included a sample grocery trip with some budgeting tips. So pick up the sales flyer so you do not miss out on some of the great sales that the food market has. Use food in multiple meals, which we'll get into in a couple of slides. And also buy items unaltered. They're usually cheaper than buying an item pre-cut. And don't pick it up if you don't have a plan to use it.
So you can either get 2 whole pineapples or a container of pineapples for $6.83.
Also, focus on the perimeter of stores. It's definitely where the essentials are. Beans, whole grains, and canned goods are in the center aisles. Look online for in-season fruits and vegetables. They're usually less expensive. So like right now we're in middle April, so that's like apples, beets, spinach, Brussels sprouts, carrots, lettuce, sweet potatoes. So stores are also specific in the wording, and that a sale like 10 for 10 doesn't require you to buy 10.
So here we have a 10 for 10 sign. So with 10 for 10 signs and signs like these, stores, they're tricky in their wording in that you don't really have to buy 10. So me, for example, with all this yogurt right here, obviously 10 for 10, usually go for 5 for 5.
So I included a sample grocery trip. So I included 1 pack of chicken cutlet for $6.60, a quarter watermelon for $3.74, Goya brown rice for $2.19, collard and chicken broth for 75 cents, 1 can of collard greens for $1.59, 1 can of mandarin oranges for $2.09, 1 can of cut green beans for $1.09, 1 can of golden corn for $1.29, 4 cans of bumblebee chunk light tuna in water for $1.49 a can, and 1 can of pineapples for $1.29 for a grand total of $29.68, including tax. So on the next slide, I just have a few meals that can be prepared. So we have a tuna salad sandwich. So each can produce 2 to 3 sandwiches, depending on what ingredients you add, celery, peas, etc. And then we have chicken soup, so, chicken cutlet, peas and carrots, low sodium chicken broth, and noodles. Then we have lemon chicken cutlets, brown rice, and collard greens, and then chicken nuggets or chicken strips, peas, and watermelon, which is great for kids. And then tuna salad with mandarin oranges and pineapples. And obviously, we can cut up the sandwiches into little shapes just to entice it for children.
So here we have chicken. It's great in protein, vitamin B6, among other things. And as for children, you can cut it up into chicken strips or chicken nuggets, add breadcrumbs, throw it in the air fryer or the oven.
So some health benefits of some of those meals include, so for chicken soup, we have it being a great source of protein, selenium, and phosphorus. It plays a part in serotonin production, so that's a feel-good hormone. Peas and carrots, which are a great source of vitamin C and A, and it also helps keep you full due to its fiber content. So next we have a tuna, which is beneficial in lowering blood pressure. It's rich in zinc, vitamin C, and selenium, and you can even take it a step further and add peas for some more greenery. And now we're on to chicken. So chicken is very high in vitamin B6, among other things, which help form new and healthy red blood cells. The brown rice is a healthy whole grain, which helps with vitamin A, C, and E. And collard greens are a great source of vitamin A, K, iron, calcium, and magnesium. So take home activity. So using the handout provided to guide you, use the handout provided to guide you in your next food trip. That will be provided by DC Greens. I created so it's nice. And then also work to slowly incorporate what you learned today into your daily life, as well as amplify what you learned today with members of your community. And thank you. And then here I just have my references. And yeah.